under this condition or the situation that we have due to the coronavirus and sanctions or economic sanctions by the Western government, we are under extraordinary conditions. We know Syria is a strong country, a rich country with the resources that we have, the human being and the land and everything here supported us to start depends on the many projects that we can create from the rural area, like the lands, growing the lands, utilizing, having the crops and planting trees, kitchen and goats, all these resources. If we think in a way, we will be self-supported. We will help our country. Will help ourselves to be more dependent on ourselves, and we can show the power that we have, the strength that we have as a country, as individuals, to support ourselves and support our country. So we have the key point that we have many resources. We have to depend on that resources. We have to utilize, invest in the proper way. This is not on our area here, like Sweida Governorate. Is all the governors in Syria have resources, and we have good people. The important resources, the people. If we think in the productive way, we can survive and do great things.
So do you think the Caesar law will defeat the Syrian people? Do you think these economic measures will defeat the Syrian people?
It never defeats the Syrian people. As I said, we have resources that we can depend. We are intelligent. We are strong. Our dignity is more than anything. More is the superior priority for us. We can, every person can depend on the land around his home. Even our verandas, our roofs, we can utilize to survive, and we are able. We did that during the 80th years, and now we can do it again, and we can continue doing that. Syria will remain strong with the support of the good people and its people.
There is also, we talked about it inside, there is also a campaign to try to recreate some of the protests from the early days of the US conflict against Syria. And we've been hearing some reports of some protests inside Sweida, and you were explaining to me what they are and basically how small they are. So if we can just talk about that really quickly.
Yeah, just I want to mention one occasion that our great leader, President Bashar al-Assad, he visited Sweida, and he said, "You are the strongest rock on the Syrian castle," and we are. That's, all the people here, they know the value of Syria and how much we have any great things like our president, our army. We defeated the terrorists, and we will continue that. Everybody, we respect the opinions of many people. We give them a room of space to speak what they have. But these things, because of the media, they show to it that it's big little bit, but it's very minor and very small. Be sure that Syria, with all the location, and especially in Sweida, we are the biggest support of Syria and President Bashar al-Assad. We are proud of that. Yes.
Thank you. And just one last thing I wanted to ask. Next month is 2 years since the terrible ISIS massacre of the people of Shrehi, Shbeki and Sweida.
Yeah.
We were talking also about the psychological support for the families of the victims, but also I wanted to also cover the positive news that people are actually coming back to the countryside, to these villages. So
Yes.
if we can cover both of those subjects, that would be really good.
You know, that situation at the day of crisis, I can see it happen. Many of people injured because of the terrorists, as I said. But at the end of the day, we find that ourselves, it's a part of our, faith that we have to stand for ourselves. We have to protect our land by our bodies, our souls. So we are remembering this occasion with little bit of sad, but with much of proud that this is about to keep our country strong and resistant to the projects that the Americans and their allies trying to do. Now what I can say that many families in my village and also the eastern countryside of Sweida, they start to come back, and even who left before, they start and planting their lands and utilizing this indication about the the awareness of the people that this is the way for the next period. We have to be prepared. We have to work hand by hand with the government plans to to make the duration easier for the people or the next agent.
And sorry, one last question. People are also talking about the possibility of a threat of ISIS attacks again in this area, and you mentioned to me that no, this is also.
It's, and we are having now daily monitoring and groups to see and monitor the area. In another hand, also the Syrian Arab Army have many stations now. All the eastern area they are available, and we did not know any existence for that. I cannot say that we should not be aware. We should be alerted and see, because it's a part of the situation now. It's the whole country situation, but there's nothing major that we have noticed. Anyhow, we are ready, and we are ready. We are now soldiers of Syria, and even we are civilian.
Thank you so much, Diaa.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.